We've officially entered crunch time in the Big Sky Conference schedule, and this afternoon's rivalry matchup is crucial for both Montana and Montana State as they chase seeding in the conference tournament in Boise in a couple of weeks. Hi everyone, welcome inside Dahlberg Arena alongside former Lady Grizz standout Krista Redpath. I'm Riley Corcoran, and Krista, these two teams very similar resumes entering this matchup as they chase that important 5th seed.
That's right, Riley. The Big Sky in Boise is approaching quick, and the top 5 teams will advance. And when you have to win 4 out of 5 in order to get to that title game, that bye is crucial.
And unfortunately for both of these teams, injuries have been a storyline this year, and we'll start with Montana State. Their leading scorer, Claire Lundberg, goes out a couple of weeks ago, but picking up the slack in the meantime has been Oleana Squires.
And we know Oleana Squires can really fire it from the three-point line. She hit 62 trays last year. She had 20 against Montana in Bozeman. She can take the ball to the hole. She is definitely a key piece to this Montana State offense.
And for the 3rd straight year, the Lady Grizz have had to deal with numerous injuries. 4 different players that have started a game this year, currently sidelined for the remainder of the season, but their steady force all year has been Jace Henderson.
Jace Henderson is just special. That is one word to describe her, and this is her last game against Montana State here in Dahlberg. She's been a game changer for Montana State, and I look forward to having a good game for her.
First matchup was dominance. The Cats won by 22 points in Bozeman, their largest margin of victory ever over the Lady Grizz. They'll go for the season sweep next. Tip-off around the corner coming up on SWX. Welcome you back inside Dahlberg Arena. Riley Corcoran, Krista Redpath, Sean Rainey, and our entire SWX crew with you. A tight one, and you hear a lot about tradition, and there's another great example of it, of this rivalry. Sean, you were listening in on the Montana State huddle during that last timeout.
Yeah, Coach Binford telling her team she wants them to continue to attack on offense, and then also she wants, when they get turnovers, she wants the pace. She wants them to kind of pick up the pace and try and score in transition. She felt like they had some opportunities off of turnovers and they kind of walked the ball up the floor. She wants to get going fast.
Former guard, thank you, Sean. And Krista, that's kind of opposite to what the Lady Grizz want to do, getting a half-court play set. So nice contrast of styles right now.
It's just going to come down to who's going to put the ball in the hole here in these final minutes of the 3rd quarter and into the 4th quarter.
Jordan Schwain on the floor for the Lady Grizz, as well as Abby Anderson. Harrington in the corner, 3 on the way off the heel of the rim, and the Lady Grizz with an offensive second chance, and Mackenzie Johnston will make MSU pay. Grizz are within 3.
How Mackenzie Johnston got in there to even get the rebound at 5'7", and then has enough poise to finish. That's a big basket for Montana.
Martell set up for 3, and she misses. That's the shot that the Cats won, as there is a foul called in the backcourt to the delight of about 4,000 fans in attendance. 3 team fouls against the Cats, 2 on the Lady Grizz. Kristen, in any of the quarters, we have not seen either team get to the bonus. So we've mentioned it all game long, but a game with good flow, not many fouls.
Right. I'm still getting used to that, the 4 quarters and going straight to double bonus on 5 fouls. I miss the bonus, actually, the one-on-one for the women's game. I think that's an element that it was lost when they moved from the halves to quarters. Martell
over to Van Sickle on the right side. Plenty of guards on the floor right now. Wright puts it on the deck. Good feed into Braxton. She goes in for the bucket. Count it, +1.
I thought she might have traveled there, but that was just me. Let's watch her right here. Let's watch her feet. Thought it was a stutter step, but you are the Euro step. You still have that there. But again, good job for Blair with finishing on that. That's not easy with contact to come up with the finish.
That's Braxton's first points of this game, Krista. Been pretty quiet, averaging just under 7 for the year. Back to a 6-point game. Every time the Lady Grizz get closer, Montana State has had the answer, and the foul called on Tori Martell in the post. Both teams jockeying for positioning here with just under 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
Things are getting chippy down there. They're going to call that hand check. They're going to call the arms around each other. It's going to start getting even more scrappy.
Henderson saves the possession, but then throws it into traffic, and it forces the tie-up. Fortunately for Montana, the possession arrow stays in their favor. The Lady Grizz ball, 26 seconds to shoot, trailing by 6. Johnston in the corner to Schwain, as Krista mentioned earlier on. Schwain with her season-high 9 points on 3 made triples in Bozeman. Lady Grizz looking for some sort of offensive spark. Anderson finding Harrington in the corner. Baseline drive back to Anderson from point-blank range, and the freshman will convert it.
And that's exactly what you want for Montana. They weren't expecting that basket, and for Abby Anderson to crash the lane like that, and that's a big finish for her.
4 points now for Anderson. Rebound goes right through her hands, and back to Montana State for another chance.
Those second chance opportunities are going to become even more critical.
As Cooter runs her way into traffic, Anderson gets called for the foul.
That's exactly Binford's plan, though. When we were talking to Sean, is take it at him, force him to foul, get to the line, play like you have the lead.
7 offensive rebounds now for Montana State as Cooter misses the first, and the floor general, Oleana Squires, coming back in. Coach Binford, I'm afraid to say, this team goes as Squires goes some games, and she's lurking on the edge. She led the team over in Bozeman. It's a 5-point game approaching the final 2 minutes in this third quarter. Harrington has been quiet in this second half. A bullet pass over to Johnson. She was not ready for it. Lady Grizz turn it over. Squires on the break the other direction. Johnston a near steal. Good pass down to Braxton. Cannot make the layup. Abby Anderson clears the board, but she needs help bringing it up the floor, and that was close to an over and back violation. It
was. Coach Binford also wanted the foul on Braxton, but I think she lost track of where she was in proximity to the basket. Just drawn just slightly under the basket and wasn't able to gather her bearings.
Schwain in the corner, dribbles it out to center at 5 seconds to shoot. Lady Grizz and Schwain hoisting up a deep three. Anderson goes over the top to get the rebound, but they called a foul for contact. And we're getting another look at it, Krista.
Let's take a look at this right here to see if there was contact. There was a box out by Oleana, and if there is a box out and she comes over the top, again, it's not an over the back. It's all about who has positioning and where the contact lies.
That's a double whammy for the Lady Grizz. That was team foul number 5. So double bonus coming and 2 free throws for Squires.
Listening to the boos here in Dahlberg. We have a feisty group of Lady Grizz fans over the years. I feel like even I finished, in 2000, but fans still talk to me like I just played. Such a good environment here for fans and tradition.
Well, when you win 95 games in your career,
oh, Riley, look at that stat.
Tournament appearances.
Yes, I did win a few games here for Montana.
They will remember you, no doubt about it. Cats have matched their largest lead of the game at 7, 54-47. Montana looking for the answer. Ball movement around the perimeter with 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Harrington and Johnson, 2-man game. Dangerous pass down low. Fortunately saved by Harrington. At the rim, can't make it. Anderson's second shot, no. Lady Grizz are agonizingly close to the rim. Cannot put points on the board, and it's back over to Montana State.
On the offensive end, Montana does look stagnant, though. The ball is rotating through Mackenzie Johnston. She did the reversal on the ball. It just wasn't good spacing for Montana. Look at how Montana State stays spread. And they run Madeline right there. I mean, could we not script that better? Exactly to what my point is. 4 out, 1 in. Madeline Smith doing a great job of owning that low block.
Right on cue, they spread the floor. The passes are so crisp, Krista, and Montana State has their largest lead of the game. It's at 9 with under 20 seconds left.
And that screen and roll was there, but Johnston misses Jace. That's got to happen so quick on a screen and roll.
Schwain over to Johnson, 6 seconds to shoot it. McKenzie's going to have to create. Foul will be called first. And if it's on Montana State, it's team foul 5, so free throws would be coming. We'll get another look.
Cooter lost her shoe here. Not sure if it was more 2 Montana State players collide.
I think it was. Henderson catching a mini break as she will go to the free throw line. It was team foul number 5. Cooter puts her shoe back on, one of 2 Seton Hall transfers. There's a Minnesota connection with this Montana State program. And Cooter, as well as Claire Lundberg.
Gabby Maki, Tori Martell, all 4 of those. Those were Nate Harris recruits. I think for that Minnesota Fury, they have the great Minnesota-Wisconsin connection for Montana State. Recruiting is so much more now about the relationships for AAU than it is high school basketball. As you listen to these coaches talk about their relationships, it's just critical.
So critical. Nate Harris, now an assistant coach at Angelo State down in Texas. Jace Henderson will miss the first free throw. She is 1 for 3 today. It's been the Stars that have been quiet for Montana, Krista. Henderson with just 5 points, now make it 6 through 3 quarters. Cats can hope for the final shot here. 5 on the timer. Squires directing traffic. Team leading by 8. She'll take it herself on the baseline, and a late whistle will put her at the free throw line with 1.6 remaining.
And that's exactly what you want if you're Binford. You give the ball to Oleana. There was contact. I mean, it's questionable, but there was contact. And she does a good job of taking it to the hole, but on that type of play, if you're Montana, you almost want to make them earn it. Just back off.
This is almost as good as a made shot. Oleana Squires is the top free throw shooter in the Big Sky Conference. She makes the second one. She's a perfect 8 for 8 on the game. Half-court heave as time expires.
Oh my goodness.
Good.
We're gonna have to look at this. That is unbelievable. Mackenzie Johnston.
Maybe that's the spark the Lady Grizz were looking for from way beyond half court. Johnston puts it in.
How fun is that? Fans to their feet.
And look at the crowd. They are waiting for something to erupt on, and Mackenzie Johnston gave them a good reason. Lady Grizz still within an arm length. They're down by 7, 1 quarter to go.